Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? I am fine. I had my interview. I actually got the job. I start on Monday. Don't worry, we'll still be doing football and economics. They're they're working up the contract, so I know what my approximate pay is, but they need me to start right away. So I'm like, fine, that'll work for me. So it's good. I can buy more gold, which is always something good. And speaking of gold, let's see where gold's at right now. Gold is at 27.36, silver 33.68. We got silver into the 34s and then it's dying. I thought Mark McGuire said once it goes past 32.75, it goes to 45. Oops, I guess they added more derivatives, which we know is going to happen. The same thing here with gold. It's at 27.43 at 9:30. Then the 10 o'clock drop takes it down to 27.24. So they're still monkeying around with the derivatives. And then off it goes. So I like when I'm working out and then CNBC says, oh, gold's down $20. Yeah, it's a derivative at 10 o'clock. Of course it's going to be down. But then talk about it now, 27.36, up $18. Why it went down yesterday was a derivative at 10 o'clock. I mean, it's the same bullshit, but it's the system. It's a derivative system. We need to kill it. We need to get to a free market, not a BRICS gold, not a bullshit system. So silver 33.68. It'll move. It's just a matter of time. I guess the best example is you're looking at the Titanic, and the boat hits the iceberg, and you're going, well, when's it going down? Why aren't we sunk? Well, I guess if we haven't sunk yet, we're not going to sink. And you're like, no, we're going to sink. We're waiting. No, that's how gold and silver are. We know we're going to go through the moon. We're just waiting. And there's no, like, when all the water's in the ship sinks. And of course, the ship sank, and you still need the lifeboat. And that's what happens here. As soon as you need the one with the gold and silver, we don't know, but it will. You can bank on it. So I tried watching a bunch of brick things about the gold-backed currency. They talked about some payment systems, which is like getting away from SWIFT. So they're all like PayPal and stuff like that. Use this card instead of that card. Yeah. Okay. But I'm not sure, there's the gold back. It's there, but they haven't. Hey, we're going to use gold back currency tomorrow. I think it's coming very quickly. It's just that they're all de-dollarizing. They're all getting away from the dollar. So even if they all join this new system, it'll still kill the dollar, which is another way of making gold go through the roof. So anyway, let's talk. We got a pro game tonight. Let's talk the pros first. Then we got college games tonight. All right. We've got Minnesota 2.5, 47.5. It was 48. Let's check the injuries. So Covers is updating injuries finally in college and pro. Andrew Jones, the running back, is injured with the hamstring, but he's not out. I assume he plays. The Rams. Pukanuka's questionable as of 2 days ago. And Cooper Kupp is injured with an ankle, so we could get both receivers back. So let's go to Yahoo, which might give us a little bit more on tonight's game. I love this. How to watch the football game. Well, turn on the TV, but it's not on normal TV, so nobody's going to watch it. Thursday football, Rams versus fantasy football. So let's see. Cooper Kupp and Pukanuka is back. What can we expect? I don't know. The Rams are supposedly shopping Cooper Kupp. Yeah, we know that. Trying to trade Sam Darnold to the Rams for Matthew Stafford. Darnold's finally playing well. Why would you get rid of him? Let's see. Can we just get a fucking answer? Are they playing or not? Pukanuka likely limited in his first game back. You're starting Kupp unless you have an embarrassment of riches at wide receiver. Nuga, on the other hand, went from having his practice window open up to being activated off IR and set to play to this game. So it sounds like our receivers are playing. Let's go to injuries. Now, as fantasy picks, I got a bunch of nothing. Let's go. Okay. LA Rams. All right. Pukanuka is questionable, but he's not out. And I don't even see Cooper Kupp listed. So we know we got Kupp, and we probably get Nuka for a little bit. All right. So, sorry, Scott, can't talk now. So we've got mini 2.5, 47.5. I did play this game tonight. Baltimore 8.5, 44.5. Wonder what's going on here. The line moved down from, I think there was a few nines. Anyway, we'll take 8.5, 44.5. That's already been played. My picks are out there already. Hey, Todd. I like McCall. He's actually from Coastal Carolina, but yeah, he's good. So I do have Baltimore 8.5 down to 2.5. Okay. Let's see. Houston, 5.5, 45.5 to Indy. Yeah, it's about what it's been. Green Bay, 49.5 to Jacksonville. I think that's a low spread. Jacksonville sucks. Hey G, how you doing? Yeah, I am playing tonight. I played a college and a pro tonight. Locks are posted for both college and pros. A lot of college posted, and as I was going through it, I found another lock. So you see a lock on the bottom, and then I got 4 locks, two teaser locks, 4 teams locked in the pros, and another 6, another 3 locks in college. I love them, and I think I did get the free plays in. So the free play is Pittsburgh minus the half in the pros, and it's Eastern Michigan getting 3.5 against Akron. All right, Detroit 11.5, 44.5. So they're up from 10.5. Okay, Jake, I'll send you the password. So we'll just send 50, and then I'll give you the password for both of them instead of 25 and 25, if that's what you're doing. If it's just the pros, or if it's just college, or if it's just locks, then let me know. The locks would be 77, but if you are buying the college and the pro classes, that's 50. So just send 150 if that's what you prefer. And then I know which password to send you. So Detroit 11.5, Tennessee. Levis is out. They got what? Randolph Scott. I was going to say they got Rudolph against Goff. The Winston guy is he's out for steroids or something. Fucking idiot, the Alabama guy. Atlanta 2.5 and 45.5. To Tampa. So we got all the receivers injured for San Francisco and Tampa Bay. And what do we do with it? Well, usually the backups aren't that bad. I mean, you carried 5, 6 receivers. It's not uncommon, even if you lost your first 2, that the next 2 or 3, even the Rams, right? They've been without Pukanuka and Cooper Kupp, and yet they still they're still out. They're what was it, Tutu Atwell and whoever Strickland or. I mean, so they still had receivers. They needed to get in sync with Stafford, but it's not like they don't have it. This is the NFL, not college. So I would expect Tampa and Frisco to have decent backups. I think San Francisco's got Jennings and now this new guy who got shot. What a fucking idiot he is. So we'll see. So I don't know. I mean, I don't buy Atlanta as a 2.5-point favorite at Tampa. The key injury is Baker, right? He's not injured. It's like Burrow. It's like Mahomes. You can lose the receivers. You still have the tight ends and the running backs, and you still have the key, which is the quarterback. So I don't smell Atlanta here. The JETS is 741 in New England. Drake May's going again. Really? Geez. Good luck there. Miami 3.5, 46. Murray against, I guess, Tag is quarterbacking, and I mean, they still suck. I don't know. Tag's he's been concussed for 4 weeks. He's not going to come back and just light it up. I'll doubt that. Good game here. Cincinnati 2.5, 48 to Philly. Very good game. I was watching the Philly Giant game to get a little more perspective, and They're gonna run Barkley down Cincy's throat. Cincy does not have a good defense. It's a 24, but it's been a sieve. It's funny though. Now when we see Washington, we understand why they gave up 38 to Washington. Um, so it should be a pretty good game there. I don't see Cincy blowing them out. I'm not sure on the total yet. San Diego, New Orleans. San Diego 7.5, 40.5. Uh, well, who's quarterbacking for New Orleans, right? If it ain't Carr, if it's Rattler, they won't score. If it's Hayner, they might score a little. San Diego, very tough defense, as we know. Buffalo, Seattle, Buffalo 3-47. Should be a good game in Seattle. The Bears in Washington. Have we heard on whatchamacallit yet? We heard on Daniels yet. Daniels plays. I'm betting this strong. I'll take Washington. He doesn't, then it's a little different. Probably. Well, today's Thursday. Let's see if we got any injury news on him. Daniels injured rib. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything, but it's an injured rib. He did a text to his mother that I'm fine. I don't know what that means, but he's still injured. So the ribs are hard. That takes a while. You'd think they'd wear the rib protector. I don't get it. Let's see. So that's the Bears. Really, their favorite. This is where the injuries come in, because how the hell do you trend this when there's no way the Bears are favored over Washington healthy? If I pay for just NFL with a college lock be on there like before, there is one pro college lock. You won't get the other college locks because they're under college. But yeah, you'll get all the pro games, the locks, and there is one college pro lock, which you should get. You just won't get the other two college locks. So it's whatever you want. KC, Oakland, KC 9.5, 41.5. Not bad. It's under 10. Mahomes against whom? Minshew, okay. He doesn't have Devontae Adams anymore. The coach, they can't win a game. I think what happened is the coach said that they're soft when they lost to Carolina and the team quit on them. The rivalry game, so be careful with that. All right. Denver, Carolina. Denver's up to 10, 41.5. Okay. Denver, Carolina's back to young, so they're not going to score. Either way, take Denver, take the under. I mean, with Carolina's a 35 defense, they're the worst team in the league. Knicks should have a good day. It should be a shutout. I mean, Jesus. Frisco, 4.5, 46.5 to Dallas. Dak against Purdy. Again, the receivers are out for Frisco, which is nothing new. The backups are okay. Dallas, they still have Dak quarterbacking. That's their big weakness. Micah Parsons, I believe, is going to play. He's questionable. When you beat up Dallas without Micah Parsons, I mean, he's the best. It's like beating the Giants out Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, it doesn't really count, right? Lawrence didn't play. So this could be a good game if Micah Parsons plays. Pitt and the Giants. Pitt 636.5. Giants are an under team. Pitt B. Jones against Russell Wilson. I can't believe the spread's 6, but oh well. My spread's not 6, but theirs is. All right, so that's the pros. So we did play tonight's game in LA, and I got 4 locks out of these plays. And now let's go to college because we do have plays in college. And let me see if I owe G a password. Not yet. I can stop looking at these stupid Indeed things. Okay, so let's go to college. So I have played tonight's game, one of the games. And here we go. Old D was favored, is now Georgia Southern favored. We'll call it by 1 and 52.5. Don't know what's going on there. Syracuse Pitt 5.5. I think it was 6.5, 62.5. All right, one of those games I have played. That's tonight. Tomorrow's game, we got Louisville 7.5, 53.5. We got Boise and Vegas, great game, 3.5, 64. That'll be an excellent game. And then USC against Rutgers, USC 14, 56.5 to Rutgers. USC's so bad right now, and so is Rutgers. You're finishing your work? Oh, you're at work? Okay. Well, the game's not till, I think, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So don't worry. Georgia Tech, VTech. We got VTech is 10 and 52.5, I guess. Georgia Tech, let's see if King's playing. I can go into injuries now, and they give it to me. King's doubtful with an upper body as of October 21st. VTech, running backs out. Safety. I assume SAF is safety. I don't know. Why can't they just say S for safety, right? So I would love Georgia Tech if Kings plays without him. The backup looked okay last week, but we got to trust him. We trust Kings. I'm not putting money on the backup. Okay, Virginia, North Carolina. We got Virginia lane 4 at Virginia and 59. That hasn't moved. Ohio, Buffalo. Ohio this is MAC, 6 and 45.5. We got Tulane, 7.5 over North Texas. Very interesting game. We love North Texas scoring a bunch of points, and it looks like the total went from 65.5 to 66.5. Now we know North Texas 36 defense. We know they score 45 a game. Tulane, a fair 20 defense, but they score. They lost to Oklahoma 39-20. I was watching the Oklahoma South Carolina. They're not highlights. The Oklahoma quarterback threw 3 pick sixes, and I turned it off, saying, "Well, yeah, hard to blame their defense on that." What are they doing with the quarterback? Then they fire the offensive coordinator. It's the quarterback sucks. It doesn't matter who's. Bill Walsh could be their offensive coordinator. They're going to do shit. All right. So, interesting game. Tulane's got a tough defense. I think this is an overplay, 66.5. You're going to get North Texas going to give you 30 something and give up 40 something. So probably the best play. Maybe the 13.5. Maybe you got Tulane -1, but hard to go against a team like North Texas. Notre Dame -14. They don't believe in the Navy. All right, 51 down from 52. They're both A teams in different leagues. Notre Dame's a 12 defense. Navy's a 20. The Navy gets 425 a game, and Notre Dame only 378. I think this will be a very close game. I'm looking at like 17-14, something. This is not Notre Dame going to win by 40. Whoever's thinking that's out of their minds. This will be closer than 14 for sure. Nebraska, Ohio State 25 and a half, 48 and a half. Remember, Ohio State's off the loss. They're still off the loss. They lost to Oregon, didn't play last week, still off the loss. They'll be pissed off. They'll do what they did to Michigan State and Iowa. They just 38-7 them. Only this could be a lot higher because they're pissed. So go Buckeyes, beat Michigan. Oklahoma and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 20-49. Oklahoma, we are pretty sure won't score in the game, but they have a decent defense, which after refixing it, it's a 29 defense, but after watching these 3 pick sixes, maybe it's not quite that high. Ole Miss is the A team. 541 yards a game, and but it's a 20. It's still a big number to lay to Oklahoma, but we'll see. And again, it was pick sixes that led to the blowout against South Carolina, not South Carolina running it down the throat. It's a big difference. Now Oklahoma gets to look for a new coach, new offensive coordinator, and a new quarterback. Well done, boys. Memphis, 18-57. That number hasn't moved. Charlotte's a W team with a 34 defense and 300 yards of offense. Memphis, an A team with a 20 defense, 429. Yeah, go Memphis. Fucking they'll light them up. Indiana, 6.5, 54.5 to Washington. What do you do with this game? I mean, Indiana's quarterback's out, broke his thumb, but he'll only be out for 2 weeks. It's like a hockey injury, right? What are you going to do? How do you play Indiana here? Because now the second string, who didn't look terrible, but again, it's like Georgia Tech. How do I bet on the backup? Washington, they ain't going to do shit here. Indiana's for real. Unfortunately, it's a tough, we've lost the quarterback for a little bit. Otherwise, after the way they killed Nebraska, you got to be kidding me. Arkansas against Old Mississippi State. Arkansas 756.5. Down from 58. Well, we'll call it 57. And Old Mississippi State's a 33 defense. Ark's a 21. Don't like their quarterback too much. He can run, but he can't throw. App State 7-61 to Georgia State. Yeah, Georgia State. 761. The total is what, from 63 down to 61. I'm surprised by App State really can light it up. They just have no D. They're 38 defense against the 30. Georgia State, not much for scoring, but should put up points here. I mean, App State's terrible. Little MAC play. Miami of Ohio, 12-47 to Central Michigan. Kind of a surprise. Central Michigan, good scoring team, terrible defense. 30 defense. Miami of Ohio doesn't score with the 22 defense. It's right there. Temple and East Car. Temple's actually, East Car is 7.5, 49 to Temple. Temple's the Z team, but East Car's not great. They got a 28 defense. Alabama off another loss. So they were off a loss, then they beat South Carolina, and then they're off another loss to Tennessee, and they get Missouri, who's a very good team. I would say Brady Cook's out because this line's up to 17. Holy shit. So it was 13, now it's 17-51, down from 55. I would imagine Brady Cook's out. He got injured last week. Missouri injuries. Brady Cook's doubtful with an ankle, as I thought. Noel, their big running back's doubtful with the foot. Our receiver is doubtful. and a bunch of questionables. Well, let's look at Alabama. Do they have any injuries? Nah. One linebacker's out. That's all. Alabama never gets injured. So we've got a pissed off Alabama team off of now 2 losses in 3 weeks. But 17 to Missouri. The total went down to 51, so they don't think Missouri will score much. But Alabama doesn't have that shutdown defense anymore. It's kind of weak, actually. Georgia led them for 34 and a half. Vanderbilt put up 40 on them. So I don't think this is a Nick Saban Pittsburgh Steeler defense. Jesus, I think this line's way off. Yeah, I get Cooks off. They got a backup. These good teams have backups. They're not all like Michigan. Um, I don't know. It's a big number to lay to Missouri. I don't care. Okay, yes, Cook's out, but they know he's out. So the backup's been out there. He's a good coach. Drink water. So I don't know. I'm staying away. Total 51. I gotta stay away from that too. It's Missouri's got a 16 defense. As far as I know, everybody on defense is playing, and they'll probably run the ball more because they don't have a quarterback unless this guy's great. Who knows? This is where you get Cam Rising, and this is where you get Tyler Van Dyke is the injury, and then they come in, and all of a sudden they put it up for 40 points. You're going, why the fuck wasn't this guy starting? And that's what you got here. So Missouri's too good of a team and too good of a program to start laying 17. You got to be kidding me. I'm going to watch, but no, I'm not interested in Alabama. UTSA 7.5, 54 to Tulsa. Tulsa's a W team, 35 defense. Jesus. UTSA is an over team with a 30 defense, so it's 7.5 UTSA, 54. So if you want UTSA, you lay 1. They are an over team, but I'm not sold on them yet. Good game here. UCF BYU. We got the letter game. UCF is 2.5, 54.5. BYU's undefeated. Let's see. Is there somebody injured I need to know about? No. There's no injuries in this game. So who the fuck is betting? Why are you betting UCF? BYU's the top team. I think they're a very live dog. BYU's an A team. They're getting points from UCF, who's 26 defense. Now BYU's defense isn't as good as I thought it was. I was watching the Oak State game, and it was like a 38-35 game. So I'm like going, oh, maybe they're not this shutdown defense. UCF runs a lot. They've lost their last 4, I believe, and Prime beat them. Prime just shut them down. So very live dog with BYU, I believe. Connecticut 6.5, 47 over Rice. That's probably the biggest Connecticut line in 20 years. Laying 6.5. Rice stinks. UConn's more of an over team. I'm giving them a B. They got a 22 defense, 26 defense for Rice. They did lose to Wake Forest last week, UConn 24-20 or something like that. So they should handle Rice at home. We'll see. Minnesota, Big Ten, 4 and 46.5 to Maryland. Maryland comes from behind, down 14 to beat USC, and that really good defense. Oh, no, they don't, do they? USC, Minnesota. So Maryland's going to be counting their, like, hey, we won. And Minnesota's waiting for them. Minnesota's tough at home. Better 16 defense. Don't fuck with them there. Oak State and Baylor. Watching Oak State put up 35 on BYU. Baylor puts up 50 on everybody. Baylor's 6.5, 64.5. Both teams are over 29 defense for Oak State, 26 for Baylor. That's all I need to say. Eastern Michigan 351 to Akron. That's our free game. It's still a 2.5, so we can get 3.5 in Eastern. Eastern's an over team with a 26 defense. Akron's a Z team with a 37 defense. Is there an injury? I think I checked this last time that we are not aware of. Eastern's got all these questionable guys on the 19th, but they've been like that the whole year. And stat-wise, Eastern beat Central 38-34, lost to Miami, beat Clark Kent 52-33, beat Jacksonville State, lost to Washington. So I'm fine with Eastern. And you're getting 3.5. I mean, they're not losing to Akron. If they do, it's not going to be by more than 3. If they lose by 20 to Akron, you got to be kidding me. All right. I hit the back button, it freezes, and I hit it again, it goes back too far. What am I going to do? All right. All right. Northern Illinois, 11.5, 47.5 to Ball State. Let's go 12 and make that 47.5. Northern Illinois is an under team, 16 defense. Ball State's a 0, an over team with a 43 defense. But Northern Illinois, can they really take it? And they're laying 12. Don't like it. Don't like anything about it. I don't know how to play this game. Northern Illinois went from 700 yards in the first game to now they're like 370. How do you drop 400 yards of offense in only 8 weeks? Pretty impressive. I mean, even against Notre Dame, they had that big, long pass, they put up 16 points. So I don't know. They should be beat Ball State, but Iowa, 13.5, 38, let's call it. Iowa's the B team, killed Washington, went to Michigan State, got killed. Now they're back at home against Northwestern. They'll kill them. They're both 20 defenses. 38 is a total. Oof. Iowa's not that, but it's Northwestern who can't. The 282 yards. How can you be a major college and not get 300 yards the way it's set up now? Jesus Christ. So look for Iowa off the loss to play well. I don't know if they can cover, but we'll see. Oregon, 21.5, 54.5 to Illinois. Illinois off the win of Michigan. Could care less about this game. What do you think? They're going to go into Oregon and kill them? Yeah, sure. Oregon did win at Purdue after Ohio State, and now they're going to keep rolling. So look for them, put up their 50 points. T-Tech, TCU. We got TCU 6.5, 66. Both teams are over. Texas Tech with the 36 defense, TCU with the 27. A lot of points. These are over teams. This is the definition of over team. Western 17.5, 60 to Clark Kent. I kind of like Western here because Clark Kent's a Z team with the 46 defense and 256 yards of offense. Western's an over team with the 17. That's the line 17 with the 36 defense, 385. Western should just pound them. And see, can Kent take advantage of the 36 defense? Probably not. McCrazy. Cannot stay. Just wanted to stop. Say what's up. We'll listen later. Scored 10 ounces of silver today. Hope interview went well. Yeah, I got the job. So that went well. It was funny. I interview and I think it's going okay. I'm a little wordy. 5 minutes later, they call me. Yeah, okay, you got it. But they're trying to put a caveat in. Well, it won't be direct hire; it'll be contract because we want to bring you on Monday, and we can't hire you that quickly, but we need you because they need help. And so I think I says, well, you are going to hire me. He says, yeah. I said, okay. He says 6 months at the worst. I just don't want to get blindsided. Oh, it's just a 4-month contract again. But we'll see. But I believe I'll be a employee, and so I believe I'll start Monday. Waiting for the contract house to send over the contract with the rate pay should be what I want. I verified that. I said, "Well, I just want to make sure we talked about a pay." He says, "No. You'll get what you're looking for." I go, "Okay, all right." Toledo 2.5, 49.5 to Bowling Green. Toledo's the 18, Bowling Green's an under 21 defense. Toledo with the 19 defense. Bowling Green's been playing some teams pretty well, but Toledo's the ace in the MAC. Wake 353 to Stanford. Down from 54. Heavy action going on the under. Wake just beat Connecticut, which was probably a pretty good win. And now let's go fly across the country and play Stanford. I don't know how you can play Wake here. I don't know how you can play any of these East going to West or West going to East. It's ridiculous. And I probably don't do it quick enough. They probably, like for this game, it's Saturday 3:30. They needed to leave tonight. You need a day or two to recover, not only from the jet lag, but then for the time change. Believe me, when I land in Italy, it's 7 in the morning. I'm sleeping in the cab. I can't play football. James Madison, 24-53.5 to Southern Miss. Line hasn't moved at all. James Madison, the A team, Southern Miss, the Z team with the 34 defense. Go James Madison. They might do a 70 like they did North Carolina. They're inconsistent. They'll do it on North Carolina. Then they won't do anything on South Alabama. And then they blow out somebody. Then they lose. Cal, Oregon State. Cal 10.5, 49.5. There is a 9.5 and a 49.5. Now this is more West Pac-10 football, even though Cal's not in the Pac-10 anymore. 9.5, 18 defense. They're the under team, 18 defense. Oregon State's over with a 27 defense. So, Texas and Vandy. Who are my favorites? Texas went from 19 to 18.5 and 51.5, down from 53.5. Interesting. Any injuries to my Vanderbilts? Texas, DB doubtful, running back out, 2 other running backs we knew about, Vandy. A lot of questionables. As long as Pavia is playing is all I care about. All right. So did you just buy the Pro? So I need to know what password to send you. Excuse me. Blow my nose. It's like right here, so I got to blow it out. I think it's from the airplane because this was like last week I got it. Just about gone. Yeah, for now. Okay. All right. New Mexico and Colorado State. Colorado State 5.5, 63.5. 60. I can't imagine why this is going down. Colorado State's an E team with a 27 defense. New Mexico's our 90-point team. Over with a 43 defense, 470 yards. I'm not going to check for injury here, but this should be Colorado State. I don't think it's not like Utah State, so they're not gonna. It's not going to be a 95-point game. Might be an 85-point game, but I think New Mexico plays all great offense, no defense. South Alabama, 7:45. Has it moved? South Alabama sometimes is an over team, sometimes they're not. Lou Monroe is an under team, 20 defense. I'll be with you in a minute, G. Arkansas State, 7.5, 51.5 to Troy. We hate Troy. The Notre Dame coach is looking so good. They're a W team with a 27 defense, 252 yards. You wonder what happened to Sam Hartman, right? Yeah, okay. Arkansas State, okay. They're a W with a 31 defense. So not a lot of defense, but not a lot of offense in this game. West Virginia, Arizona. Arizona is 3.5, 52.5. Wow, down from 55. What's going on there? West Virginia is an over team with a 29 defense. Arizona is an even team. They'll score 24-25 and give up 28. There should be points in this game. That's why I'm shocked on the total dropping. It's Arizona. There's not going to be any weather. A safety out and a wide receiver out for West Virginia. And Arizona, the whole team's linebacker out, an old lineman out, a bunch of questionables. Still nothing really, not like Fafita's out, although the way he's playing, he should be out. Miami, 21, 54.5 to Florida State. Hasn't moved. Hey, Ron, thank you. So Miami is 21, 54.5. Florida State stinks. Let's see if Uglia Buglia is still out. Probably. Uglia Buglia, questionable. He might play. Oh, my God. We're praying he plays. Miami should kill him. I mean, an A team with a 22 defense, and Florida State can't score with the 25 defense. Put it this way, Miami gets 551 yards a game with Cam Ward, who sucked at Washington State, who's better here. Florida State gets 286 total yards. How can you be 286 total yards? Miami's going to kill him. All right. So I got passwords to send. Come on. All right, almost done. I'll go a little quicker. Utah, 3.5, 37 to Houston. That hasn't moved. Utah State, 1.5, 57.5 to Wyoming. Wyoming was at 2. I don't know what changed, but still like Utah State. LSU, A&M. Where's Bobby? A&M 1.5, down from 2.5, and 54.5, up from 53. I'm not sure this is an over game with A&M. They got a 17 defense, and LSU's got I think a 19 defense. Once I get the high school game out of there, both A teams. We know LSU beat Ole Miss. They're a real strong dog. Michigan State. This game's been going up and down. This was a 4, is now 5.5. You scared me Monday talking about being wary of the last of the locks on Monday night. Well, because I nailed everything on Sunday. So when I get to Monday night, the day changes, so you lose your little vibe. It's like switching tables at blackjack. You're hitting everything. They close the table. You got to go to another table. You got to get it. But yeah, I saw that score was 41-31, and we're at 43 or something. It's like, yeah, Baltimore got us the over by itself. But I do get worried when each day's got a different feel. But didn't mean to scare you, but yeah, G cleaned up on it too. She had a big 16 teaser, needed Baltimore over to kill that one. And so that's good. That's the way it should work. So Michigan, 5.5. What's going on? 39.5. And we got, I got it at 4.5. Okay. So a little change there. Michigan, I think State gives them a good game. I don't know why anybody is betting Michigan. Penn State 6.5, 47.5. Again, a mystery. Wisconsin starting to play well. Penn State, it's in Wisconsin. I can see Wisconsin easily winning this game. 6.5. That's a big number to take. UK, Kentucky, 2.5, 44 to Auburn. Should be a under game. Kentucky with a 19 defense. Auburn with a 21. Auburn scores a little bit. Kentucky doesn't score too much, but they have a good defense. Their Georgia quarterback stinks. I can't remember the name. The Kentucky quarterback, he's terrible. Kansas State. Kansas State is 10, 55.5. That really hasn't moved. A good rivalry game here. 24 defense for Kansas. They're a B team. They're starting to play much better. K-State's always very good. An A team with a 20 defense. 400 yards of offense for both teams. SMU Duke. SMU, you can get 11.5, 48.5. SMU's a very good team. They went into Louisville and killed them. So Duke, 20 defense, SMU, 17 for Duke. Be careful in this one. Fresno State, 5.55.5 to San Jose State. Both are over teams. 24 defense, San Jose State, 27 Fresno State. I don't know. I don't want to go against Mikey Keene and make him mad. And San Jose State's been playing real well. So you can probably get a live dog as far as totals. I would say it's an over before I'd go under. I think I'd go over 49 before I'd go under 61, but it probably lands somewhere close to it. Colorado, 6.5, 57 to Cincinnati, up from 5.5. This is an A versus A. Cincinnati, very good. Sorsby, the quarterback, good running, good defense. 19 defense. Colorado with the 22s playing a little bit better. Still don't have a running game. Their defense is getting a little better. 448 for Cincinnati, 400 for Colorado offensively. This is AA. Take the dog. I don't. Why are you betting Colorado? Because of prime time? Is he playing? Washington State, 14.56.5 to San Diego State. Washington State's an over team, 27 defense. San Diego State under 23. They don't do much. And our last game, Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii has gone favorite. Hello. -2. We can get a 2 with Nevada. 44.5, 45. I really like Nevada as the dog here, but they weren't. They were the favorite. Let's check. Okay. Got to be careful. Nevada's quarterback, who's really good, Lewis, questionable with an undisclosed, the old undisclosed. Now, this was the 21st. Keep an eye on that. If he plays and you can get Nevada +2 against Hawaii, jump on it. Nevada just beat I think they beat Oregon State. Hawaii hasn't beaten anybody. All right, let me get some passwords. So Ron needs a password. G needs a password. G, you bought Pro Picks. So I need to give you. Hold on 1 second. Take care of G. Today's the 24th, 28th, and Pro. Jeez, it's a confusing one. Make sure it's the right week. 28. Oh, it's a playful one. You'll like it. And then Ron gets both. Sorry for such a long one, Ron. All right, G, here's your password. Hi, G, yours is sent. Ronald, yours is going to be sent. Okay, Ronald, you're sent. Much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, yeah, gold. Silver, I don't know why it's dropping down. We can talk about that also. So there's your football. So again, I did play tonight's. I got one college, one pro game in different teasers. 4 locks, 5 locks, something like that. I had a pro college lock. I got 2 separate college locks and then 2 separate pro locks. So, you're getting like this week, like very strong against very weak. So the spreads are like KC's 10. So it's a little bit higher, but it's still appetizing. You're welcome, Ron. Thank you. So let's talk some gold. What is this? Somebody telling me who to vote for again? I hate this. Oh, just says Ron paid me. Okay. Paid you 50 sinuses. All right. So let's see. Gold. No, let me sinuses. $50 sinuses. Is that the note? Let's see. Does it come in different? Yeah, sinuses. What? So about my nose? Yeah. Yeah, well, I just got a cold from the plane, I think. Well, I got it when I came back, so you probably get a cold on the stupid plane, but it's much better. I can before I couldn't sleep because it kept running, but no, it's not running. It's pretty dry. So I've been hitting the sauna at the club and the hot tub to try to drain it out. All right, let's see what we got. 2736. I don't see the 27.47 unless we're talking the other day. So 27.36. We still get the US's little 10 o'clock bullshit. The silver at 33.64. I thought we needed 32.75. We hit 34 and change. Why the pullback? You made one up, but that's good. It'll be past that soon. They asked for a reason for the okay. Well, whatever. Yeah, they asked me for like PayPal wants a like what am I doing? And I says, well, I'm teaching. I just say I'm teaching. Anyway, so we had the BRICS meeting. In the BRICS meeting, they kept talking about there's like different payments that they're doing. There's like a PayPal card. So China can pay India, right? So they already have this PayPal system. Then there's what we're looking for, the gold back currency. I don't know. I think it was on the agenda, but I don't know that they actually voted on let's doing it. All the countries that join, I think, will need gold, and just each country will be responsible for their own gold back currency, is what I'm understanding, but I'm not sure. I don't know why they just don't have a BRICS gold back currency. Just come out with that, and everybody who's in BRICS uses it. That would be the simple way. So I'm not quite sure what I'm finding. I am seeing a bunch of different countries, and I'm thinking they'll never get to how are they going to agree on it? That's why it's a joke to the one world government or one world currency. It's like, you've got to be kidding. There's no way you'll get one currency. It'll never happen. So we'll see. But they definitely were talking about the gold back currency. I'm not worried about it. They're talking de-dollarization. Another bunch of countries want to join it. So they're all trying to get out of the dollar because of the sanctions, and mostly because it's not worth anything. They don't want to talk about that. They just, they're trying to, it's all because of sanctioning Russia. Oh, really? Not because your dollar's worthless, and they're all going to go because it's safe haven. But I think they want the U.S. to collapse before they do it. I think. I don't know. I've heard rumors to that. But either way, keep buying your gold. Keep buying your silver. Um, knowing how sneaky they are, they probably did talk about gold, but won't say anything. I'm sure it was on the agenda. It just said something like, I'm sure they talked about it, didn't do it. Believe me, it's being talked about. It's why are they all buying the gold? Why do you think gold's at 27.35 now? It's and it's funny because when the US has control at like 10 o'clock, it goes down. And then once it leaves, like now it's leaving the US at 6:14. It's leaving the US, and here comes Asia, and watch. So when you're sleeping, it's going up dramatically. And then at 10 o'clock, you always know it's dropping. So if you're ever going to go buy gold, I would say go at about 10:15, 10:30, right at the middle of the drop. I mean, that's when I used to buy the gold stock, right? I'd buy Newmont Mining. I'd wait till 10 o'clock, and I would watch it drop. And then so I'd watch this, but you see at the bottom when it hits 27.24. So as soon as it started moving up is when I would buy it. Now I might get out at 27.33, or I might go to 27.37, but I'd be out by the end of the day. I'm out of the position because I can see what's heading my way. So I'd say 95 out of 100, the 10 o'clock drops. Once in a while, the 10 o'clock goes. I think that's going to happen tomorrow. I think they've done enough of that it's going to go up. Ron, can you do that at the coin shop? Sure. You don't have to, because they are monitoring it. So you sit there and it's 10:05 and you're watching, you'll see if you start seeing the drop, you just wait. And about 10:30, and it starts going up. Okay, I'll buy now. What's the price now? and you just act stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They don't even understand it's a paper price. It's not even a physical price. But absolutely, because they're keeping the way the movement is, they're keeping an eye on it. So as it's going up, they want to charge you more, but as it's going down, they got to charge you less. But yeah, that's just the way it is. It's all derivatives. That's the point. It's not free market, and therefore you can't. I was sitting in the hot tub today having a vicious argument. I'm talking to one guy about gold, and of course, people listen because I'm the professor, and they start talking. One guy, I says, I'm not going to vote, and he says, well, if you can't vote, you can't complain. I go, oh yeah, I can complain because what am I voting for? I'm not voting. First of all, this is not a democracy. This is a limited republic. This is a republic like Rome was a republic, and then it turned empire, and that's when it fell apart. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional limited republic. We have a playbook. It's called a rule book called the Constitution. That's what this country is. That why you can't have the bullshit majority rule crap. That's why they did it. There's no money in the Constitution. It's only gold and silver. There's no central bank in the Constitution. What the fuck am I looking at? And you're worried about me voting? I don't even recognize the country because I do all this in my economics classes. The seven, the Adam Smith and the 1775s and what they said in the kind of free trade, no taxes, gold-backed currency, limited military, and good laws. That's the government. That's the country we're supposed to have. What the fuck is this? It's like Back to the Future 2 when they come back and Biff's in charge. You're like, well, this isn't what I left. What are you doing? So this is the problem. Does he have to honor that at the store? Well, the guy's looking at the gold price, so he's taking the gold price. Now, I think he knows that 10 o'clock it drops, and he might delay it and do it at 10:30. But if I walk in and the price is 2,800 tomorrow, he'll sell it to me at 29 and a quarter. He's like 100 and a quarter over spot, and I'm like, fine. Because I found some. Last time he only had 1/10 of an ounces. He had about 6/10 of an ounce, and that was it. And I wasn't interested. I bought 11 ounces of silver, and now it's like, now I'm back to work. I think I start Monday. I'm waiting on the contract. It's weird how they want me, but can I take contract roles? I says, sure. I don't, I'd rather this is what they miss. I'd rather make money, right? So I'd rather go to work. I don't care who pays me as long as I'm paid. And I don't care who my boss is as long as they're normal type of people. So I don't care. If I can start Monday and make my money, then what do I care who pays me? But just make sure, is it a 3-month contract? To say, no, we intend to hire you after 6 months. Okay, fine. So I don't mind working contract. He says, this way we don't have to drug test you or background check you. We can start you right away. And I'm like, fine with me. The drug test is such a stupid thing because I don't do drugs anyway. But if you did drugs, so you just I got this, I got to take a drug test. So you wait 3 or 4 days and then you take it. So when I'm working, if you're a drug user, you do drugs anyway. 1/10 are flying off the shelves. Well, he had about 6 of them, and they're going for like 3 and a quarter. So he explained to me, he's like, well, why are you buying them? Because it's the premium's higher. And I go, no. Because as it's going up, my 300 is turning into 350 now for that. Let's take a look at eBay. Let's see how our money's doing in real life. I love how I type in 1 ounce gold and I get everything but 1 ounce gold. Half ounce. No, that doesn't make sense. All right, a tenth of an ounce is 366. I paid like 320 for it. Quarter ounce, 724 Philharmonic. I'm glad I put in 1 ounce. Cougaran, 28.27 for 1 ounce. 1 ounce Cougaran, 28, 28.20. Where am I? Oh, no wonder I'm on page 4. I was looking at it, so it stops at the page, so I should just do a refresh. Okay, let's see. So now, yeah, because that was a few days ago. So now 1 ounce Maple Leaf, 28.84. Here you go. So now the US 29.16, 29.10 for your 1 ounce Eagles. And it's just random year. It's just an ounce. See, what I don't understand, it's an ounce of gold. Why does an eagle worth more than a maple leaf? It does. They're an ounce of gold. I don't give a fuck what it says. Here's my example. Why are these 28.40s and 28.30s? It's an ounce of gold. What the fuck do I care? It's limited. It's gold. So in my mind, they're all 2,900, even though they're a little bit less here. I don't quite follow. Now here's 28.52. So there's many different little auctions. So be careful on that. And then I hate this one because this is bullshit. You go in, you see a price like that, and then it's, oh wait, it's out of stock. So I've emailed them. What the fuck do you still have this out there for? Well, they won't kill it. Oh yeah, they will. Take your auction down. So here's a tenth of an ounce Cougaran 301 and a quarter ounce Eagle 768. I was buying those hard at 300. No, I don't care. I didn't do it to sell it at 760. That's what you got to realize. The quarter ounce is a better buy. They add the collector's price. We want plain old gold. Yeah, well, that's what we're buying is plain old. We're buying an ounce of gold. That's why I don't care if it's a Cougaran. Now, on the other hand, I paid less for it. So my Eagle is like 1924, but I could get the Cougaran at 18 or at the 29. I could get the Cougaran at 28.40. So it's all fine. But at the end of the day, the gold's going to be 1 ounce of gold. If you notice, even on Comex, it's what, 27.35. Not Cougaran, not Eagle. It's all 1 ounce of gold, 27.35, on its way to 3,000. So like here, there's two different. Buy it now. It's 29.17 from Liberty Coin and another coin 29.03. So that's what competition does for you. We always get economics into it. This is exactly what competition. Why doesn't the guy just sell it for 10,000? Because this guy's going to sell it for 29.03. You have to compete with him. That's the beauty of the market. Half ounce 15.92, a tenth of an ounce 3.15 for an Eagle, 3.18 for an Eagle. The Kangaroo 7.25. But again, it's a quarter ounce of gold. We'll do one more look. See, this I'm not crazy about, this half ounce gold bar. I'd rather have the coin because you got to leave it in the card, which is really stupid. And I don't care. I'm not buying it uncirculated. So I just take it out of there and put it in a little rounder and off I go. I prefer the coins. They're just much better. 771 for quarter ounce. So when you're doing your tenth of an ounces, keep in mind this is a quarter ounce, so it's 2.5 tenths. So if the tenths are 350, times it by 2 is 7, and then 175. So it's 875 basically, or 771. So you're better off with the quarter ounce, as you're saying, right? So this is how I diversify my portfolio. Then I buy a maple leaf, which is extremely cheap. I bet this is bullshit too. Yeah, see, he doesn't change it, and the item's out of stock, so you get confused on the pricing. And then the half ounces are about 1,500, which seems low. I've seen them higher than that. So be careful. Check the guy. Make sure he's not from China. There's a lot of fake silver I'm seeing on here. Let's see if I can find it. I'll point it out. See, now this is a counterfeit, $24.99. Let's go in. So look at the buyer. He's got 0 because he's made off, right? And then if we look, this guy's actually out of Memphis, Tennessee. Normally they're from China. But if you see this price on a 1 ounce silver, don't walk, run. It's hot. It's not real. See here, they should be about $40, right? 24. How can this be 20? Who the fuck in their right mind would sell it for 24 when you can get 40? Why would you be so far in the competition unless yours is fake? So keep in mind, you're never going to get that deal. Not on gold and silver now. Silver about maybe 39, 40 an ounce. You see it for 24, just call the guy and made off. Now let's go into my watch list. And for you, Ron, the Rolex Daytona, 527,000. Funny how these prices don't go down. So you Bitcoiners, you want to buy Bitcoin for 60,000 or whatever. Wouldn't you rather have a Rolex that is not ever going to go down? This will go from 527 to 6. There won't be a drop. So it's really strange. Uh, how people are so. I'm so sick of these vote crap. It's like block number, leave me alone. I can't wait for this election to end so we stop getting this bullshit. So why wouldn't you want this for 527? Oh, it's a little expensive. Okay, let's look. Well, why don't you get the Jordan card for 500,000? It's not going to lose value. I love how people, well, they're just cardboard. Yeah, but with a guy like Jordan on it. My Mickey, 60,000. Notice how, would you rather have a Bitcoin or the mantle card? Right? This is a PSA 9, 1965. Beautiful. I love the pennant. Or a Bitcoin. What do you think you're going to do better with? Oh, the Bitcoin's going to go to 1,000,000. Yeah, sure it will. And then you got the mantle. Hey, quit bothering me, please. You're about to pay again, G? Okay. Wouldn't buy from China Panda. Nope. Bag of shells. Yeah. Well, you got to be careful, especially the guy has no likes. Some of these guys have, 1,000, 10,000, 100%, likes or favorites or whatever you call them in eBay. It's been so long. But I mean, like here's a Mahomes rookie card, 500,000. Would you rather have this or would you rather have the Bitcoin? This is what cracks me up about the Bitcoin people. It's no different than this. Now here you go. You got a Rolex for 820,000, which is not ever going down, and the Mickey 68, 72,000, his last card, which I have. I don't have it graded. That's something I got to get. You can't lose on that card, and you can't lose there. These are never going down. This is what let's speculate on a Bitcoin that we don't even know what it is. We can't hold it in our hands because it's just air. It's digital. The whole thing is such a Ponzi scheme. I was watching something today with Larry Fink, and he knows something. Go buy Bitcoin. Yeah, because it's a Ponzi scheme. The only way the price goes up is if somebody buys it. That's it. Gold does not really need a buyer because you can't really have too many buyers of gold because there's not a lot of gold left. I was talking to one guy at the club, and I was talking to the barbecue guy, and he says, well, there's got to be there's got to be more than, more gold in the ground. I go, well, they've only been able to find so much. They find about 3,000 tons a year, and China buys 3,000 tons. They buy all that comes out. There might be in the ground, but go dig it out. I mean, the supply, we don't know. There's gold, obviously, at the bottom of the ocean, the Spanish ships that went down. But so what? It's what's available in the air in the market. Most of the gold's in vaults, Switzerland, stored away. That doesn't mean anything. That's why the price is hard, because it's not just supply. It's people wanting it. I guess sort of like the Mantle card is 72,000 based on people demanding the card. Otherwise, it would have no value. And then we got this little thing. All these little BRICS people, 159 countries want to join. Another 13 are joining or something. And they're coming out with getting away from SWIFT, getting onto this Russian China new thing where they use a PayPal card and they send Joe money and and it just hits different accounts. The problem with what BRICS is trying to do, not the gold back one, that's beautiful, is these currencies are all fiat. So even if China does this and India does that and Saudi Arabia, and they all use their currencies, the currencies are all toilet paper. It won't work because the currencies have no value. The only thing that will work is the gold back stuff. That's the simplest way. So if I'm in doing this PayPal thing on BRICS and I got a euro and I got a dollar, well, guess what? Neither of these have a value. And if I got a rupee, if I got an Indian and a Saudi Arabia and a China, guess what? None of them have a value. They're all worthless. So how are that trade mechanism going to work with worthless dollars? The only answer is the gold. That's the only way that money can have a value. Or silver. You can't use oil. What are you going to? Oh, I want to go to the bank and I want to get an ounce of oil. Or give me some Pennzoil. Give me a can of Pennzoil. I'm going to use that to go to the grocery store. So you get to the grocery store. Well, I have gold, or I have the can of Pennzoil. How do I buy the tuna fish? God, it's hysterical. You paid for college. All right. Well, I have that password, so I'm going to give you the total password. Gee. Pinehurst or JD Bullion or Kitco. Well, I hate Kitco and I hate JD Bullion. I like my guy. Is that where you buy from, Ron? Is that what your question is? I would not. I would do SD Bullion over JD Bullion. It's cheaper. I hate Kitco. Pinehurst, I'm not familiar with. Okay, G, I'm going to send you a new password, which I just gave to Ron because Ron bought both. So use this one password, G, and you don't have to keep bouncing back. You'll get everything. Bon appetit. All right. So, well, yeah, that's a lot of who's selling on eBay. We don't care. Um, but I go to my store has it. So if you really need gold, I can give you the number, call up the store and just buy them from him or come into Detroit and I'll take you to the store and you can buy from him. I had a friend at work and nobody believes me with gold, right? Until now. And he understood what I was telling him. He could smell what I was cooking, as The Rock would say. So I take him to the coin store. Now I'm not expecting this. He buys $100,000 worth of gold with my okay, and the owner is loving it. And I think he gives him a check for $100,000. They did the order. It came in like a week later. You got 55 ounces of gold. Um, and then he went back for silver. And so the gold was what, 1900. I'm sure he's pretty happy with me now at 27, but I hope he doesn't sell. He can't sell yet. Anyway. So yeah, but see, people go, well, how can I sell can you sell Bitcoin? Let's see if we can sell Bitcoin on eBay. See, the problem with Bitcoin is it's not money, but everybody, for some reason, thinks it's money. I don't know where these are people that don't know what money is, which is why I teach you what money is, which is the most important. It's a medium of exchange, what everybody wants. We don't want Bitcoin. So it's never money. The most marketable commodity. It's got to be portable, which I guess I don't know if it is. It's in the cloud. What if your internet's not working? It's got to be scarce. I don't call 21 million scarce. I call the 50 count Mahomes card scarce, not 21 million, if that's really the number. Fungible, it's the replaceable. I don't know. And the key that they don't want to mention, it's got to be acceptable. And you cannot go to Italy and go pay for dinner with Bitcoin. Ain't going to work. Excuse me. It's not going to work. They're not going to use it. So it's not money because it can't be used. I appreciate you. Thank you, G. I appreciate you. You're just playing NFL. No, I played college tonight. It's down below. I think it's the Pittsburgh. Was that tonight? Pittsburgh. I played the Pitt Syracuse game. So nope. Envy. Okay. So let's look about. Can I buy a Bitcoin on? Let's say I can buy a Bitcoin magazine, a silver coin 1 ounce, a trading card, a coin, a miner. I don't know what a miner is. So I can buy a physical Bitcoin for $1.58. I thought they were worth 60,000. So I can't buy Bitcoin here. I can buy a fake Bitcoin for $80. Why would I spend 80 cents on it? but I can buy gold and silver as we see. So it's not real money, but they don't want to hear that. So what do they say? Well, it's going to go up to 1 million because we want to suck you in so you buy it and then you're fucked. Well, what do I own? Nothing. It's nothing. It's thin air. Oh, there's a Bitcoin. Oh, wait, there's a Bitcoin. It's the stupidest thing. And it just shows you how stupid people will just buy anything if they think they can make money at it, even if it's bullshit. Oh, because Larry Fink's buying it. Yeah, Larry Fink's the biggest crook in the world. Why would you want to invest anything with Larry Fink? That's just ridiculous. So, look, you want Bitcoin. I showed you a Rolex to buy. I showed you a Mantle card to buy. What would you rather have? A Rolex, a Mantle card, the Jordan rookie, the Montana rookie, or a fucking Bitcoin that you can't even hold in your hand? You don't even know what it is if you got it. And what do you do when the dollar goes to zero? What are you going to do with your Bitcoin then? It's worthless. My Montana card or my Mantle card or my Rolex is not worthless. It'll get repriced. So the way the medium of exchange works, we agree on paying it. So we agree that it's money. So when this goes out, we need a new medium of exchange, which will be gold and silver. So your $80,000 Rolex, so your $80,000 Bitcoin goes to zero because there's no money that this is worthless, and it's valued in that. So does your house and your car and your Mantle card and your Rolex go to zero. But then here comes the new gold-backed currency, thanks to Russia and China. You take that and then you revalue the $100,000 Rolex is now worth maybe 20,000 of the new dollar. But the new dollar is worth so much more than this piece of crap that it's okay. And then so that's what'll happen. Everything gets revalued. So I don't know. They're dealing this whole thing with the stupid PayPal. So every currency can use its own. So every country uses their own currency. The problem is the currencies don't have any value. So it really won't matter. The only thing they need to get out with is the gold-backed currency already because none of the dollars have a value. I don't care if you're China, Russia, or Japan. Your dollar is worthless because it's not back. It's a piece of paper. This is the fundamental flaw with money now is it's worthless. It's used to buy things, but now when you go to the store, you buy less and less, and that's the big problem. So that's what's going on, and keep that in mind. So all this, we'll see. We're waiting for the gold-backed currency, but we have gold, and that's the thing. So again, so in the hot tub, you're sitting there, and people are like yelling at you. Well, if you don't vote, you can't argue, or you can't. What was the word he used? I can't complain. I can complain. Why can't I? Why do I have to vote to complain? I complain. I didn't vote for Biden. I can complain about him. I says I'm not going to vote for a communist in Camel, and Trump's out of his mind. So I says when we go back to the gold standard, I'll start voting. But this isn't what I want to vote for. It's like voting for chocolate or vanilla, but you want strawberry. Well, I can't. I don't want to vote for either. I don't want either. Oh well, you didn't vote. You can't complain about strawberry. Well, what the fuck you talking about? So that's what we get into. It's the old people talking politics that have no idea what they're talking about. So I start bringing up the Constitution and fucking them all up. I said, well, there's only gold and silver in the Constitution. I just read it last night. I was going through my notes. I was watching Les Miserables, and I was wanting to see when it ended. And France ran until 1815. So in the Les Miserables, I think it starts getting bad, and then I think it's about 1825. Their dates are wrong. When they have that whole revolution, and that was caused by hyperinflation. Les Miserables. That's why the French Revolution, because they had no food, because these idiots printed the money to death. It happens every time. The Romans, the Spanish, the Amsterdammers. you print the money to death, and then no, you can't feed anybody because you're so fucking stupid. But they don't want to learn. And here's the Keynesians, like the guy's dead wrong. Why are you listening to this idiot? So it's really frustrating. Somebody said, "Well, it's hard to talk to people," and I go, "Yeah, well, only the people that want to learn." So I know if you come here, you want to learn it, so I can talk about it. But yeah, in the hot tub, it's you just roll your eyes at these people. They're like so fucking stupid, and they don't want to listen because they don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to admit, "Oh, you mean my money in my 401k is worthless? Oh, I need to sell it and buy gold? Oh, well, I can't. I'll have to pay taxes on it." Well, I'd rather pay tax on it than not have it. So I think the other thing is, one guy was telling me today, he says, "Well, when's that going to happen? I'll be dead by then. When the dollar collapses." Well, it hasn't. It's been around since 72. It hasn't collapsed yet. Therefore, it's not going to collapse in my lifetime, so I don't care. You got kids? I mean, come on. And then that's the problem. They think because it's lasted so long, it'll keep lasting. They don't get it. Let's go on the Titanic. It hit the iceberg. So you think because it hasn't sunk in 10 minutes, it's not going to sink? Is that what you think is going to happen with the Titanic? Because it hasn't sunk right away, it's not going to. Do you think because the dollar hasn't collapsed right away, it's not going to? Yet every other country that's done this, it's collapsed. Come on, wake up. So that's the real problem. And then gold, just buy it because you're not going to be able to find it much longer. And it just keeps going. When it hits $3,000, you're going to be lucky to find it. And that's what our thoughts were about silver. Well, 10 ounces will buy the ounce of gold. And my argument is it will if you bring the 10 ounces in. Are you going to have an ounce of gold there? So it's 20,000 and silver's 2,000 an ounce. So that's 10,000. That's 20,000. It's 10 ounces at 2,000, it's 20,000 and a 20,000 ounce of gold. It's fine to trade it if they have any gold to trade. That's going to be the problem because you're talking the whole world needs gold because all these currencies are fucked. They're not worth anything. I mean, what's Venezuela going to do if they're in BRICS? And they're going to, well, we'll trade our Venezuela money for Indian money. And I don't want Venezuela money. You got to be kidding me. So I don't know what they're going to do. They keep talking digital, like CBDCs, because it's good, which I don't think that's individuals. I think it's just companies or countries buying oil or buying electricity or whatever. But anyway, so I was looking for an official BRICS goes on gold back currency, but I didn't see it, but it's in the discussion. So it's definitely talked about. And anyway, so that's good news for us. Plus the dollar collapsing. I've heard both sides where China will do the gold. They obviously have 60,000 tons. I think their intentions are to gold back currency it, but that they're waiting for the U.S. to collapse. And it's like, because they know they can collapse them in 5 minutes. We have a gold back currency. U.S. dollars collapsed. So they don't want to do it like that. But where Trump's wrong is nobody's going to want to trade with the dollar because nobody wants our dollars because they're worthless. This is the point that these idiots are not understanding. We should have we need a gold back currency because nobody's going to want our dollars because they're piece of shits. Venezuela will just come here through Texas and Arizona. Well, and then they will use our dollars and ruin our dollars. Exactly. I was going to make a point, but yeah, because they'll all be worthless. So nobody, it sounds good. They'll trade in their own currency until their own currency is worthless. The only thing that survives is gold back currency because that's the value is the gold. The money has no value. This is just paper. This is worthless. The fact you put a 1, a 20, or 100 on it, it's still worthless. right? So it doesn't help you to say anything because it's only the only value it has is the gold, is the backing. And somebody says, "Well, there's not enough gold around." Well, just raise the price. Make it 10,000 an ounce, and you can print as many dollars. Again, somebody being naive, going, "Well, we can't all buy gold. There's not enough." I go, "That's the point." But they'll have gold backed dollars, and we'll make the gold price 10,000, and then there'll be enough dollars. What did we do in the 1960s? It was gold backed currency. Then we had a lot of people, and you have the dollar. The dollar kept the value. You don't need the gold as long as the dollar is backed by gold, and then everybody's comfortable. It's when the dollar is not backed by gold, the dollar price keeps dropping to zero. So anyway, get your assets, get your Rolex, or get your Mantle cards or something. Get your Picassos or your Van Goghs, but don't think for a moment Bitcoin is money. Now, it has a value because people are valuing it, but would you rather have a Bitcoin or a Mantle card? I would tend to think you'd want a Mantle card or a Rolex over a Bitcoin because you don't even know what a Bitcoin is. You don't have it. You can't buy it on eBay. So you don't know what it is. It's just air. So why do you even want it? It's not money. Take it to Italy and go buy dinner. No, you can't, right? I use my credit card, not a problem. We used a water taxi. I use my credit card, not a problem. Can you imagine trying to use Bitcoin in Italy? They'd laugh your ass out. China, you can't because it's not legal. Anyway, that's kind of the point. Italy's taxing it. Believe me, everybody will start taxing it. It's not even legal in China. So you're really at a point where uh, is there a demand for Bitcoin? And the only demand is to try to say it's going to go to 1 million. So I'm going to try to suck you people in, and then when you suck in, then I'm going to get out, and then you're going to be stuck because you can't sell it. So that's the problem. How does it go up in value? We don't know. Anyway, I'm not trying to knock Bitcoin. I'm just the reality is it isn't anything. It's just thin air, and it's not worth anything. Just like this is only worth something if it's backed by gold. What's Bitcoin worth? It's worth even less because you don't even have the Bitcoin. At least I have this $5 euro, €5. That's the problem. So that be smart about that. So anyway, football, the free plays, Pittsburgh Monday night beating the Giants, the Giant men. In Eastern Michigan, getting 3.5. Professor, you're giving Eastern Michigan. What are you, out of your mind? Yeah, they're playing Akron, and they're only laying 2.5 to Akron, and they're an over team. So they should have not much problem. Even if they win by 7, you're getting 3.5. When else can you get points from an over team against the Z team? It's a very good play. He'll stop the wars also. Who, Trump or gold will stop the wars? How the hell does a Rolex get me food if things go bad? Well, you can sell the Rolex for whatever money it is. People will take Rolexes. I mean, now, granted, well, let's say you own a Picasso. It's a $10 million painting. I mean, you can say the same thing, right? How does a Picasso get me food? You can sell it, but it's worth so much that's the problem. You got $100,000 Rolex, you couldn't sell it, but we don't want this. That's why you buy the silver, because you want food with the silver. And if you are still using this shit, then you can sell an ounce, get $1,000 for it. But what should happen, like I said, if I go to my barbecue place, I can order the ribs or order a chicken dinner and pay him with the silver. He'll take it for money. He will take it. But he understands that it's a value. Where you go to these other places, when you go to the bigger amounts, I'm not taking gold there and giving him an ounce of gold for my ribs because that's worth $3,000 for the ribs are $30. So I'm not going to do that. But that's really what you're looking at. I think the barbecue place is slowing down. They're all like, "Oh, we appreciate your business." I'm like, "Yeah, I know what's going on. Yeah, you're slowly losing clientele because they can't afford it." Um, so that's the problem. We were talking about that today in the interview prices. He says, "Well, what if?" He asked me a hypothetical, but I think it's probably his problem. Says, "How do you look at profit margin, which is you sell, all right. So if I sell this for $50, what's my cost? $40. So my margin's $10. So like 20%. So if I budget that and then the actuals come in, what if I'm not making the $10?" I says, and I'm looking at the cost and I can't see it. I said, then it's your price. It blew him away. I says, well, because then the only reason the margin goes down if the cost didn't go up is the price went down. That's inflation because people don't have enough money to buy it, so they are stop buying it. Your costs are still in it. Your only option is to lower your selling price to sell it. There goes your margin. And now I'm the CFO. That blew him away. I'm sure. I mean, he called me literally 5 minutes after the interview to hire me. I've never seen anything like it. 5 minutes. It was 3 o'clock, and it was 2 to 3. And at 3:05, I get a call. Can you start Monday? And I'm like, well, if you make me the right offer, make me an offer I can't refuse, I'm sure I will. Take care, Ron. It was nice talking to you. Thanks for the trust in the football, and I'll make you some more money this week. Um, yeah, I'm hot in the pros. I was what 9-1 the week before, 10-0 last week. So yeah, I'm starting to catch my breath in the pros. Yeah, we'll go. I think the JETSs will win this week. They're playing New England. Aaron Rodgers should have a big day. Anyway, so that's what you're dealing with. Stay away from Bitcoin. As Ron's pointing out, yeah, I am. Thank you. Um, as Ron's pointing out, how do I eat with a Rolex? How do you eat with a Bitcoin? Right? So they're worth the same. You can have a $60,000 Rolex. How do you sit there with the $60,000 Rolex and eat? Well, you sell it. But the problem is you don't want garbage. This is trash. You don't want to sell your assets for this. Keep that in mind. You want to sell it for gold and silver, and or the BRICS gold back currency whenever that rolls out. I mean, I'm sure I'll travel to Russia. I was talking to Daria about trying to meet her, and she said, "I want to, well, let's see what happens with the election." And my friend said, "Well, she doesn't want to meet." I said, "No, she's just." I brought up the election. I says, "I think Trump will win, and then that'll end the war, hopefully." But the war is expensive, so they've got to be. And I mean, the U.S. is killing their dollar on purpose. So I basically said to my friend, no, no, no. What she means is that hopefully the election will end the war, and then we can meet in Russia. Is probably what she wants. And I'm like, fine, I'll buy gold back currency with. I'll take my bullshit U.S. and get gold back currency. But that's where we're at with it. So anyway, I think that's about it. Hour 49. I'm exhausted anyway from the interview. Let's go. Gold should be up now from where we started because the US is out of the market. $27.35, $33.66. So expect from now till 10 a.m. it goes about 26.50, 27.50, 27.60. Now, if we don't get the 10 o'clock drop tomorrow, then it goes up to 2,800. And if you notice, it's comfortably 27.34. It's not like 27.02 going back to 2,600. You'll never see 2,600 again. You'll never see 25 or 24. I love when people ask, well, will gold go down? No, it won't, because the demand and the way they've pretty much bottomed out, and the fact that the Shanghai is gold exchange is really setting some of the prices. No, it won't go down. It's only going up because of the demand. But people don't want to sit there and say the dollar's out, and the demand for gold is to get out of the dollar, and it's the only lifeboat there is. If you understand that, you would never worry about gold going down. But you know, I mean, look at today. It went down to 27.24, and then 27.34. So it's, wait till Asia gets it. But they're buying it because they have to. To get out of the dollar, you got to join BRICS. You got to join BRICS. You got to have gold, to have a gold-backed currency, so you can trade. Because otherwise, Venezuela's currency is worthless. What are they going to do? Half of Africa's is worthless. What do they want to do? A lot of the countries in Africa want to join BRICS. Asia and the Middle East and South America. Funny is ironic is we should join BRICS so we could, but we don't have any gold. They won't let us in. Anyway, so that's it. So good luck on football tonight. We got 2 games. I got a pro game and a college game. Tomorrow I got a college game, and then we get all the fun on Saturday and Sunday. Why they have 2 Monday night games, I have no fucking idea. Look for Jacksonville to be jet lagged to the hilt this week. You spent 2 weeks in London, which is a time change and a flight. Believe me, you're going to be fucked this week. They'll be so tired. So keep that in mind. And Trevor Lawrence sucks anyway, but go Packers, beat Navy. Anyway, that's about it. So back to work Monday, which means during the day I'll be working. So we'll do classes at night. Same thing. We'll still do the pro and college classes Friday night. So tomorrow, 7 to 8 will be my college class. It's a private chat where I go through the games like I do here, but only I actually give you the winners, scores, and the locks and the picks. And it's only $25 because it's new. And then the pro class would go from 8 to 8:30 roughly. So we'll do 2 different classes, both private. So only people who pay, I put the email in, can get it. Anyway, so that's Friday nights. That won't go anywhere. And we'll have our football Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be it. I just won't be on during the day much if I'm working. But I do work remotely, but I can't see doing class while I'm working remotely. I better not do that unless it's some emergency or something. Anyway, so we'll hear what happens with BRICS during the next few days about the gold-backed currency, and off we go. So it's good news, gold and silver, mostly because this is worthless going to zero. So keep in mind, this has no value. And don't assume, well, it's been since 1971, so it'll never go to zero in my lifetime. Yeah, okay, you don't have family who, and believe me, you don't have much time. You maybe another year or 2 where it goes to, it's going to zero. It's going to zero, until it goes out. But with all these countries joining BRICS, nobody wants the dollar. It has no value. Who wants to buy U.S. good? Who wants to get U.S. dollars? I don't want to sell goods to somebody. It'd be like selling goods to somebody with Bitcoin. What good would it be? I can't use the Bitcoin. I can't use the dollar. It's worthless. Keep that in mind. All right. Watch for your injuries. We'll talk about Jalen Daniels. If he plays, if you see Jalen Daniels plays, and they're getting 3 points right now, As soon as you see he's okay, you don't need to ask me. Go make a big teaser on Washington. Take Washington in 9. That's a lock of all locks. But I can't do it until I know, and I've already got other locks out there. So we will see. I'll play it twice if he plays. I'll put him in 2 teasers. So I'll keep that in mind. All right, everybody. Good luck tonight. If you're playing it, buy your gold and silver before you can. Silver's there, but the gold, all he had was 1/10 of an ounces. So it's still good to buy. It's still gold. That's all we care about. But yeah, go buy more. All right. www.teaserking.com if you want to buy the class, if you want to buy the week. I've had all types of buyers. Weeks, the month is the best, 300, because the week's 100, and then you get, so it's $75 a week for all the picks for 4 weeks. That's the best one. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. www.teaserking.com. I'll read up more on BRICS, see if they did say something about the gold-backed currency that, yes, it's being rolled out. All right. Take care, everybody.